Okay, I think I solved my issues, Aquarius. This is a new camera for me, and it's kind of uncomfortable, to be honest with you, but hey, I'll get used to it. But everything was really bright and weird. It made me look really weird and tan, and I was just like, oh, yeah. But I think I fixed it. Woo woo. Now, enough about me. How you doing? How you feeling? So what the cards are telling me is there are some issues with family right now. Family, or where you're from, where you come from, who you are, what you're expected to be versus who you are. Now, that doesn't mean you hate your family, and it doesn't mean that you don't have a loving family, but there has been a sense of conflict between where you want to go and how much people get you and understand you. Like, this is definitely some conflict with fourth house shit. Fourth house as in, listen, as you come into the world, this is the script I give you. And then, I've said this to you guys before, being able to throw that script away and write your own script. But other dynamics of the family are not that simple. And this is one of those not so simple dynamics, in that it is okay at any point in your life for you to decide that anybody is so toxic in your life that they don't deserve to be in your life, so they're not going to be there anymore. Even your mother or your father, though, that's some real heavy shit, and it takes a lot of help to undo those ties. Of course, we know that. But ultimately, yes, even that, everybody but you and your soul is expendable if they're bad to you, right? So it's not necessarily that people are being bad to you. It's almost like they just don't get you. They don't understand you. And in an Aquarius, and in such Aquarius intense energy, you could be becoming, in other words, it's almost like you're filling out those little different dynamics of yourself. And it's like you're growing and spreading everything that you are. It's like you're filling into parts of yourself that you didn't even know existed. And as you do, there's just this essence or this sense of people thinking you're weird or people thinking you're odd. Now, ultimately, of course, you've always dealt with that your whole life. I think lots of Aquarius is kind of like go through life like almost kind of like wondering what the fuck is up with most people. like what is your damage? Like, not only what is your damage in terms of emotionally, but your damage in terms of like, why don't you get this? Why don't you understand it? Or why is this so weird to you? Why doesn't anybody think like me? So it's almost like you become the experts at being the oddballs. But sometimes you own that persona so deeply that you almost start to degrade yourselves. I'm just an oddball. You're not an oddball. You are a piece of the puzzle. You are a piece of the whole. You are an integral piece to everything around you. And you're not the oddball. You're the innovator. You're the outside of the box thinker. You're the innovator. I think that's all I had to say. But you're not an oddball at all. You're just you're doing you. That's what you do, and you're doing you well. And it's an integral part of the whole system. So ultimately, what could be an issue right now is being so, this is going to sound like an insult. It's really not. But being so filled with your own abilities that you feel disconnected or even more distant from everybody else. So really the challenge is not to linger in how different you are from others, but to figure out how to communicate in ways that people will be able to comprehend you and connect. Because also Aquarius is about community. It's about gathering people. It's almost in some ways about helping people from a distance, like objectively being able to move people around in the right direction for them, even though you don't always feel connected to them. But you wouldn't be so good at the logistics if you were. It's that objectivity that makes you really great at what you do. Unless there is a particular person that you want to get close to. And I would say that person was very high intelligence. You tend to be people who get intrigued by somebody's mind and intelligence level. And if somebody can impress you on that level, then they can start to whittle their way into your heart, right? It's almost like they have to enter through your mind. They have to make some kind of sense and not be some kind of fucking fool. That kind of energy. We'll get into the romance specific energy. That link is below. There's always an extended video, and there's always a romance reading every week. It's in with the extended video. It always is. It's 2 videos in one. So it's the romance reading, it's 2 readings in one. It's romance reading and it's the extended, which if these readings are a little bit too philosophical, that's tarot. It just gets down to the nitty gritty. It gives you the blunt answers. But so whether or not it's romantic or not, it's sort of connectivity. But here's the thing, and here's where the 4th house is coming up. What's up, baby? What you doing? It's my little puppers. Even if you had, and I'm taking it to the extreme just as an example. I'm not saying this is what's going on in your life or what you have to worry about or be afraid of, okay? But what I am saying is that even if you are somebody who had to go to the extreme and cut out somebody in your life, because I do feel that there's a conflict specifically within the family structure. So ultimately, even if you are somebody who had to cut somebody out of your life, it doesn't mean you should still find a way to love them. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to let them in your life if they're going to be toxic, but still find a way to love them, because especially when it comes to your family and where you're from, loving them or finding a way to love them is finding a way to love parts of yourself. It's parts of who you are. And if you always hate a part of your family, then you always hate in some ways a part of you, because there's always shame there, or there's always regret, or there's always bitterness. And right now there's a way of looking at it in a different way to be able to resolve those issues even without them in the room. They don't have to be in the room, right? You could be like, this person's never going to change, and I'm sure as hell not going to change for them. And I'm not going to let the toxicity in my life, but in some ways, you know, there's this, and this, and I gotta let you go in love. I can't let you go in hate, because hate actually clings and love actually liberates. So let's start at the top of your reading. A personal issue reaches resolution. This is full moon in Cancer. So it has to do with definitely emotions and your emotional sensibilities. So you might want to check out where your moon sign is to understand yourself a little bit better. But this is definitely a sense of saying goodbye and letting go and releasing any kind of conflict that existed, especially with fourth house issues, but also with other emotional issues, conflicts, or sadness. Those resolutions that you can never really get in person, like in the physical space. But you know what? You can get them now. You can get them by giving them to yourself, even using your imagination, because Neptune is really primed right now. So there's a sense of even using your imagination to get the kind of emotional catharsis that you need to finish it out and just allow it to have an end, come to a completion, bring love into the situation. Love is the only cure for hate or abuse, any kind of violence. Love is toxic to those things. It is like literally the cancer that collapses them, because ultimately love is connectivity, and all of those things are about disconnectivity, right? Disconnect and remaining isolated. You don't want to allow yourself to be isolated. You might want to remain objective, but that's not the same thing as isolated. You're still part of the crew. You're just serving a different, it's like you're still part of the crowd, but you're just in a different part of the crowd, right? But it's not about being disconnected. And ultimately, this is just bring love into the situation. It's your energy showing up in your reading. There's just a sense of this great awakening and release that can happen now, being able to love somebody and give love to somebody, even if they never gave enough to you, because the universe is flowing love into you right now, especially with Jupiter still there for all this year. There's so much love and abundance coming to you right now. You will have the energetic strength to love somebody and let them go, and let them go through love. So transformation is here. Check that the fuck out. Like, this is transcending yourself and allowing yourself to evolve to a higher level. This is also getting to a point where you're allowed or allowing yourself to transform to another level. You're ready for something new. You're ready for something different, and you're ready. It's not completely new. It's another dynamic of yourself. You're ready for this other dynamic of yourself. You're ready for this other step in your relationship. You're ready for this other step on the project that you're working on. You're ready to level up, and you're definitely leveling up. There's a transformation here to only light. So this is enlightenment. And this is like, you know, seeing the world in the conflict you're going to have is not in the experience of transformation and being completely one with light, like completely nirvana enlightened. It's going to be in trying to figure out how to communicate to others what you've experienced in hopes that they can then follow you and experience it as well. So that's where the complication is going to be. But check this out. There is only light comes out. And then look at colors. And colors talks about not seeing things black and white, but seeing that there are so many different, and that's why I was telling, like, there are so many different ways to handle this situation. It's not just a cut and dry thing. And because you're so enlightened, this is like you really, all the ideas that you need are coming to you now. It's like now you can find your way out of the lockbox because you're seeing it not as a lockbox, but a series of puzzles that you're actually enjoying. This is the aha moment that lets you unlock all of those things and all of those questions that you had. This is the time when you're able to see the full spectrum of the circumstance. And that's why it's like answers will appear before you that you didn't really even think about before. You'll start to get those vibrations now. Soul writing, that's really interesting. Are you writing things down? Like literally using your words, using communications, using the written word to actually transcribe your experiences. And sometimes this is like automatic writing, yeah, I think that's what it's called, where you basically just allow yourself to write whatever comes into your mind, and you don't. It's about taking words from a different perspective, right? It's about using words in a different way, not making them make sense, but you're really just like, it's about maybe, sometimes it's about how the pen feels when you write it. Sometimes it's about a color that comes into your mind. Sometimes it's about describing something. Sometimes it's just about an impulse. But you just let the words come out. And it's almost like that's going to get you into the mode of finally being able to somehow figure out how to communicate, or that something amazing is being communicated to you. So Aquarius, definitely have a pen and paper next to you right now. This is when it comes. Definitely have that pen and paper, because it's almost like you're being channeled all these fucking things, especially if you wake up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Do not go back to bed. Literally put your feet on the ground, have your pen and paper next to you, and start to fucking write. And it's better to write than it is to type. Don't use your computer. Use the fucking pen, use the fucking paper, and just start to write whatever it is that comes to your mind. It's not going to make sense at first. You'll read it the next morning like, who the fuck was that? It was spirit channeling through you. That's what happens. It's so high vibration now. And I was just talking to my friend about this today. I would not be surprised if you have been feeling very tired. I know it's like, it's not an exhausted tired. It's almost like energized to the point of wanting to go into the total subconscious realm of dreams. So if you've been called to sleep, it's actually you being called to different conversations that you're being invited to be a part of and listen into, which makes it even more important for you to start writing stuff down without remembering it and without comprehending it. Don't try to comprehend it. Just write it down. This is interesting. Fox and the moon. So this to me speaks of having to pretend or be emotionally deceptive or deceive people based on your truth, your emotional truth. Somehow having something be underhanded. Oh, and I just saw this word. Do you see this? I just saw that word. Is that the camera? Truth. Do you see that? Truth. It says truth. That's so cool. And that's the truth that's coming through. And that's why I want to get you to get your conscious mind out of the way and just let your subconscious guide your pen. But this is definitely what's coming out of your subconscious. To me, when I saw this, I said, somebody has had to constantly pretend to be something that they weren't. Somebody has had to constantly hide emotions that they had inside of them. And now it's time to get those emotions out. And then over here, there's pain or suffering from your temptations, from your desires, causing yourself pain because of things that you want and don't let yourself have, or your desires being, especially if they're suppressed or oppressed, becoming very painful for you, or you're punishing yourself because of the desires that you have, especially if you are a female, or punishing yourself over desires that you have toward a female. Interesting. And that brings things into a very personal perspective, doesn't it? Could be, the female doesn't have to be a love interest, could be, but it could also be a sense of, it could be you. It could also be a parent, a figure, a mother figure, a sister, something, a female that is causing a great deal of pain or great deal of suffering, especially if she is somebody who's condescending or judgmental, or beats you down or whips you because of how you feel about things, or because they don't feel the same, or she's cutting her feelings off from you. Take it how it resonates. Take no offense. Take no offense, because honestly, when somebody's like this, it's about them, it's not about you. And that's about waking up and realizing, this is about your pain and your dysfunction. And as much as I want to help you, and I will help you, if you don't want to accept my help, there's nothing I can do. So honestly, it's almost like you're going to be dealing with somebody who's going to be flinging mud in your face because of their shit and because of what they don't want to deal with. But you're recognizing that even makes the mud in the face nothing more than the opportunity for a face mask. And not to hide yourself, but to cleanse your skin. It's like, bitch, I know what you're flinging. I know what you're flinging and why. So without your ability to impact me emotionally and make me feel shit about myself, you can fling whatever you want at me. I'm titanium, bitch. I'm titanium. It's not going to hurt me, because I know you're desperate. I know where it's coming from. Seek an expert. Okay, so you may have to, literally, you definitely may have to go talking to somebody, but I think it's almost them that needs to go talk to somebody. This sense of it's out of your hands, it's out of your control. All you can do is love them and wish them well. But it also could be you. And this is a sense of, if I need advice on this, I'm not going to have any pride. I'm going to open myself up and share who I really am, instead of trying to hide it inside anymore. If I need advice and I need help, I'm going to go seek this advice and help. It doesn't have to be psychological help, mental help. It could be, sorry, I close that. It could definitely be like, I don't know, you might need some advice, like legal help or something like that. Whatever it is, don't be afraid to reach out. And education is big right now. Learning is like, your mind is primed for learning. Somebody, a guru even, that would help you understand and comprehend, work your way through this. Very important. Now check this out. This is how I know there's conflict here. Conflict that you're having to work through and resolve, that goes very deep. Trust your path, right? This is all you. La, 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 la. I'm good. I trust my path. I know it's my destiny. I got to walk my own path, even if I have to walk alone for a while. And you're cool with that, right? But then there's no. Don't walk your own path. No. But that's coming from, they're whipping you. They're trying to hurt you. They're trying to damn you, or make what you desire bad. No. You keep walking your path. You let them be their own conflict and frustration and blockages. If you love this video so far, please like, and then subscribe to the channel and ring that bell and turn on all notifications, because I upload 12 to 14 videos a week. So there's so much content for you to enjoy. An Aquarius specific video comes out every single Wednesday, but check out your sun, your moon, and your rising sign every single week, because that's really a full, well-rounded, three-dimensional picture of you, heart, mind, and soul, right? And then check out whatever you want, everybody else's signs too, if you like. There's always an extended. We talked about that before. You can also subscribe to that channel, no cost, but that's where I upload my weekly astrological forecasts. And they're totally free. They break down the week they're time sensitive. They break down the week in terms of the cosmos and what to expect about the general vibes for each week. So you can enjoy those. And you can also get access to the extendeds about a day before the link comes out here. So it gives you just the heads up. And like I said, that's where the romance specific reading always is. So FYI. And then join me on Instagram. You can find me at born_without_boundaries. Born_without_boundaries over on Instagram, because Monday through Friday I go live, and that's where I do my live channeling and live readings and general chats that I can have with the public. So I would love for you to join. Let's get into your animal totem cards. Whatever this is, I feel like this is definitely like a piece. Even if this is shitty, even if somebody's being just horrible to you, or you're so disappointed in who they are, ultimately you get a piece because you're starting to separate who they are from what they told you you are. And you're able to start to see why they talk to you that way, and liberate yourself from them, you giving a fuck, right? The abundant universe will provide. So there is a wonderful sense of abundance right now. This is Taurus energy. So this suggests 3D resources. So of any kind. So it could be 3D resources. It's okay. It could be 3D resources, finances coming in. It could just be everything is secure, everything's taking. It's also just spirits got your back, and we're watching, and we know, and you don't have to worry. In other words, you will find support. You will find resources. You will find what you need. Think on your feet. This is a time of improvisation. So what this says is could even be travel. You could find abundance through travel, or you have enough abundance to be able to travel. Let yourself go, let yourself explore. The world is now your abundance, right? It has so much to offer you. Let yourself be curious, and also let yourself go with the flow. And don't plan too far ahead simply because you want to live in a state of freedom right now. You don't want to live in a state of control of any kind. So just be spontaneous and improvise. When fox spirit appears, a fox totem appears, what it means is that the world is asking you to be very malleable and quick-witted. And so you're definitely capable of that. I know you're a fixed sign. And in other words, this could mean that your mind has to open up a little bit, but it's mostly for your own sake. And then we have watch your words. Watch your words. That's Gemini energy. But this takes on a whole new meaning when this card is on the table. Because watch your words is literally, your words matter right now, and words are going to be communicating things to you. So watch your words flow through you. Like watch words in general about what's being said. Intellectually, it's going to start to be like bing, 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 light stuff up about you, right? Also, it's saying not filter out your words, but don't speak a lot. This is a listening period. This is a time when it's an observation period. Be very frugal with the words that you decide to share with others. And then you see clearly now, and this is your energy as well, Aquarian energy, realization, wisdom, understanding. You all right, Buzzy? When your dog speaks, you got to listen. So this is about, wisdom and farsight, and also magic. It's almost like there's magic coming into this world, and we're getting the messages now. Something new is happening. Surrender now. Go with the flow. This is more Sagittarius energy. In other words, believe the wisdoms that you're receiving, and believe the downloads that you're receiving. And no matter what anybody says, these are fucking truths. And that's why I think it's so important that you write this shit down. All right, let's get into your angel messages. These are messages directly from your angels for Aquarius, please. Okay, this is a lot, and I will read them all to you, but I'll read partially. I'll read the ones that turned face up over here, and then we'll get into the rest of them. Over in the extended. Mindfulness. Oh, be mindful of another's feelings and needs. This is so much what this was about. Someone needs your love right now. A loving thought is all it takes. Somebody is actually hurting themselves right now. And I really do believe that it's kind of up to you to, even though they're trying to hurt you, let that shit bounce off, and maybe through your love of them, they will actually, and I'm not trying to tell you to take abuse. This is definitely a sense of just like forgiving and deciding to love instead of hate. Heart song. What is your heart saying? Stop and listen. Your truth lies within the empty spaces between your thoughts. Your truth shines through from within your soul. Your truth is that which is eternal and unchanging. Your truth is love. And it is. What is Aquarius if not love? Aquarius conceptually loves, cares about the big picture of love. What is Aquarius if not love? Valentine's Day doesn't come in your sign for no reason. That's about big love. It's not about romantic love. It's about big love. So what is Aquarius if not love? Prayer. No matter how difficult the situation may seem, all is possible. Ask. We are listening. I told you, fucking prayer. This is like enlightenment, listening to God, connecting with God, because you know human beings don't fucking listen, but God always does. Let's go to the extended video. I'm going to read the rest of the angel cards and then channel specific answers to these questions that I have. And then your romance readings over there too. So I will see you guys in the extended.